Interested in people's views. Not a big fan of social media, but I am on Facebook and follow pages such as BBC Sports Scotland and the SPFL. What I find interesting is that whenever they post about a Hearts defeat, such as tonight, a decent proportion of the responses are Aberdeen supporters and they're trying to rip us. I don't know what I'm missing. Do they see us as being big rivals? Is it because we've jousted over the third place spot recently? Is it because we taunted them a lot last season with our songs? Or is it just because they're trying to stay relevant and create a rivalry because they're a one-team city? I just don't find them very interesting, TBH.
The most bland, beige, boring club that ever kicked a Scottish football. How any human can get emotionally attached to Aberdeen FC is beyond me.
That's my view. They're very uninteresting other than a spell with one of the greatest football managers of all time, which will never be repeated. Their stadium is horrendous both in build and location. I just don't really give a the same way I do about most other Scottish teams. I can't really explain my lack of interest in them. I just find it interesting that they seem to see us as high on their list.
I've never had much time for them. Next to Hibs, Rangers, Celtic, and St. Mirren, they are probably the team I dislike most. A lot of it, I imagine, comes down to the who is the third biggest club in Scotland thing. They genuinely believe they are. I will never accept they are. They did something spectacular in 1983, something we will never do if we are being honest. But winning a European trophy doesn't make you a bigger club than a club that is more well-supported. We have a bigger support than they do and come from an infinitely nicer city than they do. That'll do for me.
Jealousy. A well-run, prosperous club in one of Europe's prestigious cities on the up every year. Versus Aberdeen, a fishing town club, one of the most bleak places in Scotland, propped up by a wealthy clown with money made during a long-past oil boom. If we invest in the business wisely and spend those funds wisely, we should be able to put ourselves well out of reach of those clowns sooner rather than later.
They aren't really relevant and play in an absolute shithole, crumbling, embarrassing stadium. Spending money on players, letting that relic rot. When are they going to rebuild it? Utter embarrassment for them, having probably the worst stadium in the league.
They're the most bitter supporters I've met. You should see some of the rockets on their fans forum.